You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 4th meeting for the Michigan City Parks and Recreation Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Welcome to the Michigan City Park Board meeting for Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. Would you please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mrs. Eason, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Glidden?
Here.
Mr. Labus?
here.
Ms. Esper?
Here.
Ms. Ward? Here.
All right. The minutes of the previous meeting were provided to us. Are there any additions or corrections?
None for me. I would go ahead and make a motion that we approve the minutes from our February 18th, 2026 meeting.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Table of business, we have none. New business. Mr. Walker, are you with us?
He's
Yes.
about ready to throw down. He's a key man. It's the man who won that.
William Walker was going to join us virtually if that's possible.
So. And two after five was awesome. Yeah.
All right.
We can wait for him to join.
We'll jump ahead all the way to new business B. Request for quotes for plaza demolition.
Yes, so included in your packet was our standard RFQ, and it has been reviewed and approved by our park board attorney, Laura, and I would recommend the board approve us. We would put the RFQs out tomorrow, and the submission deadline would be at your meeting at 5 p.m. on April Fool's Day, April 1st.
Any comments from the board? Mr. Walker, is he with us now?
I think the whole world can wait it know. Well, yeah.
Excellent. He's in the room.
We'll stay till we're sure we got him. Stay on the plaza demolition. Any questions or comments from the board?
Thomas, comment.
All right. Any comment from the public?
Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. I'm happy to see you're going to be given the Roger McKee dedication plaque to his family. Now, Roger was a great guy. He's the man they used to call the Toothless Barracuda. He'd come to every city council meeting. He sat in that very back corner seat back there. This is known as the Roger McKee seat. So I'm happy to give that to his son Bob and his daughter Beth Fishner. So I think we all know who they are. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other comments? What's your pleasure then?
He's got a comment. I think he's.
This is time to bring it up or no? About the plaza demolition?
No.
Okay,
No.
it's not the time for that. All right, let's finish this and then talk to Mr.
I move to approve the RFQ Millennium Plaza demo.
I would second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Mr. Walker, it's good to see you.
Hey, it's good to see y'all too. I'm happy we got that figured out.
We're going to talk about Washington Park parking policies.
All right. Okay, so today we have presented the pricing. Well, we have presented a bunch of things. The zone structure for the parking operation, the hourly parking structure. Do I need to read off like all this stuff for the? Okay. Yeah, so it's the pricing, the violations, things in which people will get tickets for. There's also a appeals process that has to be approved by the board so we can move forward setting up collections at the end of the process. So if somebody gets a ticket and they choose not to pay it and they continue to choose not to pay it at the end, we'll end up a third party source to a debt collection agency to make sure that we get the money back. And that's part of the violation process. And then the appeals are just like if somebody gets a ticket and they want to say, hey, I was in the system, something messed up. That's the process that they will go through to try to appeal a ticket and get their refund, which I'm sure this first year we might have a couple issues like that. But hopefully as the time goes on, we fine tune it all and have less and less of those issues. The last page of the packet that I have in front of you is just a park mobile sign. This is what the standard signs will look like. Right now we're actually looking at putting signs on the light posts instead of putting up new posts down at Washington Park, which number one would limit, it would lower the cost of putting signs up for Park Mobile, but I didn't want to extract too many views of the beach, especially in lot one. And using the existing sign posts would really limit the space that we take up with the signs.
Do we want to adopt them one section at a time? Or can we do the whole package? Does anybody have a question for Mr. Walker, a comment?
I was wondering, so for the caps on the pricing, so are those caps there only when it's surge pricing or anytime?
The caps are there anytime. The board usually does a good job of trying to keep things affordable for people, and the caps was our way of not letting the price get too outlandish too early. We went off a 5-hour visit to the beach, and it used to be that if you paid $20, you could stay at the beach all day. Now, on a normal day, which is $4 an hour for most of the parking places, you can stay at the beach and pay hourly if you don't stay for 5 hours. But if you stay past 5 hours, you can stay for the rest of the day without accruing more parking fees.
So the cap limit is only on how much is being charged, not how long people can stay.
Yes. It doesn't mean that you have to leave after that amount of time. It just means that you're done paying for that day. You don't have to pay more than the cap.
Okay. And then my other question is, what is the criteria to invoke surge pricing?
For right now, surge pricing is full 65% of capacity of the park is full, or there's set times for weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The days are stated to, so it'll be all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Surge pricing.
Okay.
Any other comments? All right. I thought it was well thought out and reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Any comment from the public?
Yes, Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. One thing I'd like to see us do is take all the signage and say, back up, it's going to damage your tires. I think we're going to be eliminating the tiger teeth. So just have Pat go out there and take those signs down out. The weather's getting nice. That'd be only my suggestion. You wouldn't want obsolete signs or anything that's outdated. We got that right across here at the street for Silva lot. So just my little suggestion there. Thanks.
Pardon me. We're not eliminating the tiger teeth in the summer, are we? We just took them in for the season.
No, we're eliminating the tiger teeth. There won't be any reason to have them because if they come in, they'll pay the park.
All right.
Hello, Scott Melantura, Kenwood Place. I second what Tommy said. Any signs we can remove are always great to remove signs. I wholeheartedly support the idea of adding signage to the existing light poles as opposed to new posts, obstruction, cost, etc., maintenance. What is this surge pricing? And what about special events calendar? I assume we still have the $40 maximum on those event days. Is that the surge maximum, or is the surge price and what is the hourly on the surge pricing? I think 4 hours is a very reasonable fee in today's day and age, and that you max out at the daily rate at 5 hours. I think that's a good, that seems very sensible to me. But could we have more details on the surge pricing and exactly what that is? But all in all, this sounds like a really well thought out plan, and I'm kind of excited to see how it works out this year.
Let me just hand them.
Good work, Will.
No, thank you. I think I did leave 2 extra copies of this handout right there next to the agendas. If I didn't, they're on top of that box in the first row, Shannon.
Like, have those in there?
Yeah, there might be an extra one, Ryan, right
Call
there.
it public exhibit and leave it up.
I tried to be a little prepared.
And I don't mind reading too off of it for anyone else's benefit, reading or listening or here on or online. It would keep, so all of the caps are under the $40 special event flat fee. So whether it's regular pricing or surge pricing, the caps are all under the $40 special event flat fee, which would still be available.
So surge means prime time, Scott. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the weekdays would be cheaper. And then there's different zones. So lot 1, of course, is our most popular area. It costs more per hour than to park in Fetters Alley
It's cheaper for the zoo spots too.
and the zoo.
So people can, and I think that's one of the main things for parking is what hurts the zoo
Yeah,
attendance is parking. So
yeah.
the zoo caps and the zoo prices are cheaper because those people should be using the thing to go to the zoo, which will get the money back from their attendance at the zoo.
And then just to tack on, what are the penalty rates? And did we do that penalty thing if you don't pay it within the first 5 or 7 days, whatever the law allows, we up it? Thank you.
Mr. Walker, the penalty rate?
Yeah, so there is a penalty rate for cars is $40, and for anything like it just doubles with trailers, RVs, buses, things like that. So if they pay in less than 4 hours, is $40. After 24 hours to 10 days is $60. After 10 days, we have to do the DMV search. So that's when they'll start receiving letters at home, and each letter that gets sent out, it costs us money to send it out. And then if they go past that 10th day, then it's $100 fee, because then we got to get into, like I said, sending those letters out, and then it might have to go to collections, which costs us even more money. But hopefully they don't get to that point where they have to pay that big fee.
But the park employees are not writing letters and sending letters.
No. That's all Park Mobile, their enforcement program. Actually, Park Loyalty, their enforcement program.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any other comments or
Yeah,
questions?
quick question. And I'm sorry, Will, I haven't had a chance to talk to you since the last time I was making comments about this, but I was stressing possibly having public sessions, as many as you possibly can, in order to explain this to the public. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to ask you that beforehand. So if you don't have a direct answer, you can just shoot me back an email. But if you feel like answering that question, go ahead.
So actually, as soon as this get approved, I feel like this is the bulk of the information that people would need to know. I mean, people from Michigan City, the registration process is going to be the same, so it won't change much for them, but I'm going to do those meetings as well. But I think this is the bulk of the meeting, how much it's going to cost, what happens if we get a ticket, what are the rules, why will we get a ticket. So after this is approved, then I'll start doing a lot more outreach. I already have some social media stuff made up to start posting, so everything follows this approval.
Thank you.
No problem, sir.
Are there any other comments? I suggest we
All of them at
do
once.
it all.
I move to approve the Washington Park parking policies.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Hey, Will,
Yes,
keep them off the glass. Go in.
man, it's time to go right now. I gotta go get them ready. Y'all have a good
Oh.
day.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're down to C, Spray Tech Professional Service Agreement.
Yes, so unfortunately, our assistant green superintendent has accepted another job at a golf club in the Chicagoland area. So our plan is Michael's plan is to move his laborer up to that assistant position and get them trained to get their pesticide application license. So we'd like to bring Tony Staley back in. He was the one that was our contractual spray tech for several years. The cost of training for the full season is $25,000. The agreement is the same as the last spray tech agreement we had. Although I did remove some indemnification language as instructed by our attorney that protects us more. And the price is different, of course, and then the scope is scaled down to training and not the actual spray tech work. And Michael's here tonight if you have any questions.
Is this a 1 year?
Correct. One season.
You certified it after 1 year?
Hopefully.
This didn't include what was last year's training, or no? This is different.
Different employee.
But didn't Michael get something?
Yeah, he's got his.
All right, Michael Moore, golf course superintendent. What was that?
So this isn't. I know you got certified and stuff. This isn't that.
It's the same thing, but the assistant is going to, will be assistant just started in August. So he's going to take over the spraying.
Okay.
So Tony's going to train him. Yeah.
All right.
Because, we only have a few employees. So for me to take the time to train him.
No, I 100%. I get it. I thought that was what I get. We're training someone else.
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Thanks for all you do.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments? Any comments from the public?
Yeah, again, Scott Mellon to our 200 Kenwood Place. Just trying to get a bigger understanding of this. As I recall, we didn't have people ourselves who were certified in, I guess, this. And so we paid for training, and we need 2 people who are certified. So after this year, assuming we keep the two men that are now trained, would we have lower costs in the future? Are these kind of one-time hits to get us to a place where we then save money?
Correct.
That's what I thought. So unfortunately, we just trained somebody that moved on to greener pastures. So we just kind of have to do it again.
Correct.
Gotcha. Well, keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? What's your pleasure?
Okay.
I move that we approve the Spray Tech Professional Service Agreement.
I would second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Special purchase request for zoo furnace repair.
Yes. So the furnace in the vet clinic was not working on a Saturday. So this turned into an emergency because we had to get a company out immediately for the safety of the animals. We have several animals in that facility that are temperature sensitive. So we were able to find a firm to come out. Stephanie Heating and Air. Laura has reviewed the purchase request. It's our standard, and I would recommend approval because the work's already been done.
Comments from the board?
No.
We want to thank Stephanie for coming out that very day. Thank you. Any comment from the public? Then we'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the special purchase request zoo furnace repair, please.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We have a special purchase request for zoo walk-in cooler repair.
Oh, yes. In a streak of bad luck, the zoo staff showed up one morning in our walk-in cooler, which holds tons of thousands of dollars worth of food. Had a very low temperature reading on it, so we were able to get A&S Mechanical to come in right away. They corrected the problem, did the repairs, and got it back up to temperature. So again, this was an emergency. We didn't have time to go through the quote process, and this was also reviewed by our attorney.
It was A&S.
Mm-hmm.
We want to thank them for coming so quickly. Any comments from the board? Comments from the public?
Scott Mellon, to our Kenwood Place. Was the food saved?
Yes.
Well, money well spent. I think you should approve the already paid for repair.
And I would mention too that we are trying to expand our pool of vendors for generators, heating and air, refrigeration. There were a couple that could have made the call, but we didn't have an account with them at the time, so they would not do a service call. So we are setting up accounts, for a couple of reasons, because we could probably get a better price, but also if one company's not available, we need to have other options. So we are working on setting up multiple accounts.
Thank you. Any other comments? We'll entertain a motion.
I would move that we approve the special purchase request zoo walk-in cooler repair.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
We have family beach area, no smoking area at the beach.
Yes, so most of you know the city council recently approved a no smoking ordinance. I did attend the workshop, and the idea of a family beach with no smoking came up at the workshop. I think it's an excellent idea. Very simple to just install some yard signs in the perimeter. It would be a 200 by 200 foot box in front of the lifeguard stand. The reason I think this is a good area is number one, you've got lifeguards there to kind of police that area. And number two, I would hope it would draw families to that area, which makes it safer for their children to be swimming. So all around, I think it's a great idea. The signs are like $200. And, the lifeguards and us will work together as far as putting them out, taking them in if there's inclement weather or high wave conditions. So I would ask that you approve the new family beach area with no smoking or vaping.
I would suggest that we leave the possibility of making it bigger in the future. I think it'll be a big draw. Have we spoken to the fire department about it? They hire and fire the
Yes.
lifeguards, so they're okay with that.
Yeah, and it's the board's pleasure that you can increase the size tonight.
Well, I just as time goes on, maybe we'll
See
leave
how
it to
it's
their
working out.
discretion whether it needs to be bigger or not.
Okay. No, that's a good idea. We'll monitor.
And
I have some comments. I like the idea a lot. I have concerns about the implications of the signs and the expectations from the public on what happens when there are violations. So I think one question was already answered. Who polices it? It'll be the lifeguards.
Yeah, it would have to be.
I don't love that idea that their focus is not on the water. and it's instead on people smoking or not smoking in a designated area.
And let me mention as well, this was not part of the city ordinance, so there are no teeth to enforce it. The workshop, a lot of people kept saying, people will just police themselves, it'll work itself out. So there is no violation of any ordinance if they are smoking in that area. It's a rule.
I have some hesitations with it only because if there are violations, if they're going to be reported to the lifeguards who are taking the signs on and off, I don't want their attention on that instead of people who may need assistance in the water. My other concern, I like the idea of a family area in front of the lifeguard stand to encourage families to sit there. But I think if there are signs, there will be a public expectation that there will be some follow through in enforcing the signs. And if that can't happen, I'd rather not put an expectation on any staff that are there. I'd hope that there is common decency in that situation with kids and that the individuals can deal with it, move away, or be respectful and not blow smoke in children's faces. But I worry about the implications of setting this up and not having any teeth to it. Those are just my concerns.
I agree. We don't, the lifeguards confronting people about smoking. We're just a suggested area where we won't smoke. That's how I see it.
I concur with both of you. I don't think we should have a lot of these young adults going, and you're gonna have somebody who's gonna say, "Who make me stop smoking?" And then what do we got? Then we're gonna have issues out on the beach, and like you said, instead of watching the people in the water, we're gonna have people arguing with adults who think it's their right to smoke on the beach, whether there's a sign there or not. I like the idea. I think it's a great idea. But
So could we just change the language to please don't smoke or vape? Like, we're asking you to be respectful. We're not telling you don't do it. We're asking you not to, which would kind of take the enforcement side off of the lifeguards.
Yes, that makes sense to me too. It's a voluntary thing. You're not going to demand that they not smoke because you can't.
I mean, as big as our beach is, I would just hope that people would say, hey, that's a family area, just to be respectful. Let's walk down the beach 100 feet. But that is a good point. It's hard to make rules that you're not going to enforce.
And the lifeguards being pulled away to deal with that.
That's a great point too.
Not to be the legalese person, but what determines a family? What if that area is full and someone wants to sit there? I love the idea. I struggle. I think putting signs up that are park signs suggests that park employees will deal with the area. And if those individuals are the lifeguards and no one else, because they're the closest ones, I don't want the attention taken away from their jobs. But I love the idea of encouraging families to sit in front of the lifeguard tower. And there is a massive beach there. I just think it's hard to.
It will be hard to regulate. I agree. I think that would be the only way it could be done as a polite suggestion. Other than that, some people will be unruly because that's what people do sometimes. So I think the verbiage maybe can be changed for the signs.
Right.
Can we change it? Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done anything with this other than bring the suggestion from the council's workshop to you.
I have a quick, just a quick question. I was not at the. I was sick all week, and when this came and passed at night at the council meeting, was this suggested to be put into the ordinance at all?
No.
Okay. Because I'm of the thinking, and we test this out and kind of see what happens. Whatever language is put on here, and see how it works. I hope that people will be respectful of the people who are there to sign. But I've grown up here, and I understand. Like he said, there are going to be some people who will be unruly. Possibly, hopefully, that does not happen. I hope that people really respect other families that are out there, and I'm hoping that the good side of people will come out. So I think in the end, possibly, we might think about everything runs well, see how it runs, and possibly add to the ordinance or whatever it may be. I know that's going to ruffle some feathers too, but that's okay. Because we really, I like the idea. I really do. So this is once again something that we're putting out there, and I know the argument is going to come. Well, who's going to enforce it? And that drives me up a wall. My 10 years of being on the city council is driven me up a wall to hear who's going to enforce it. Who's going to enforce it? I mean, when we pass a law, the people who enforce laws are supposed to find a way to enforce it. They don't get to tell us what they're going to enforce and what not to enforce. So I like the idea. Maybe some language change if you guys feel that's appropriate to do, and see how this works and see how it goes. I mean, we're really at that point now where we have to do it that way and hope to God nothing goes sideways. But I think it's a good idea.
Thank you.
And this board doesn't have to do anything. You can just say, you know what, we don't want to do this. It's not enforceable. I agree 100%. You do not want to take your lifeguards' attention off of anything that they're doing down there. It was just a suggestion that came from the workshop. And it's not based on complaints coming from families. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we're answering or trying to fix a problem that's been brought up to us.
Did they try to ban smoking like everywhere? I don't know what.
Yeah. So that's why I attended the workshop, because the original ordinance would have banned smoking on all city property, including the beach, our golf courses, outside of our rental facilities, which would have had a financial impact to us, especially without, well, outings, I think we're at like 83,000 last year, 70 in rentals. Again, there's no way to enforce this on the beach. So I hate when we put a new law into place and then knowingly say we're not going to enforce it, people will self-police. So I really kind of fought hard to leave the park property out of that and leave that under the control of this board. And then the suggestion was brought up. So that's why we brought it to you. And you can certainly table it, think about it, try to brainstorm different ideas.
It's your pleasure.
I think the public,
Any comment from the public?
has some comment.
Yeah, Tommy Klobuck, 1316. I agree with Mrs. Esparza. This just ought to be denied. We got rules. No dogs in the park. You've been put up all kinds of signs. They're going to do it. Anyway. No dogs in the park. They bring their dogs in the park. You put up around me about 10 years ago. You spent a lot and put a big old sign. Stay off the pier when Lake Michigan looks like a washing machine. The stupid people go out on the pier when Lake Michigan looks like the water machine. Stay off the shelf ice. The stupid people still go out on the shelf ice. You're not supposed to drink 50 feet from the roadways and the parking way. People still drink their alcohol 50 feet from the parking lot. Go to Lot 1 on fireworks night. All the people sit on the wall smoking their marijuana. All the police do is stand there in little designated groups, let them have their fun. If you're going to put up no smoking signs, you got to put up all the other no signs you're not supposed to do. So This all got started because one of the municipal employees here at City Hall complained because on nice days they want to open their window, there's cigarette smoke blowing in, and they just wanted to change the from 8 feet to the door to 20 feet from the door. What are you going to do? The municipal employee going to go and say, "Mommy got busted at work today," for tell her kids, "Mommy got busted today at work smoking a loose square out in the parking lot at City Hall." So I think it's just all ridiculous. Didn't deny it all.
Thank you.
Scott Mellon, 200 Kenwood Place. I'm really disappointed. Everybody gets focused on enforcement. We've had no smoking laws since the 70s. 60 years later, we're thinking about making a family-friendly spot on a beach that says, family area, please no smoking. And we don't have the guts to simply do that. I am stunned. This is not about enforcement. This is not a detention hall that's being patrolled by the lifeguards. If you're in a no smoking area and all of a sudden there's a cloud of smoke, it's pretty noticeable. I think we minimize the capability of our young people that they couldn't see that. This is also, we're less than 90% of Americans don't smoke anymore. It's a higher percentage here that still do smoke. But we're worried about a fraction of a percent who are going to be unruly, instead of just doing something sensible for this century when we're trying to attract out-of-towners, people with families to partake of our zoo and our $5 million destination playground that's soon to be arriving. Let's be bold and make a family-friendly area that says, please don't smoke. And let's see how it goes. If enforcement becomes an issue, it's really easy. If they won't take a kind word from a lifeguard or many other people who are city employees who are down at the park and beach at any one time, then it's an immediate escalation to the police. And it's a police matter at that point. It's not taking anybody's time away. If you're going to be a jerk, this is the solution. How big is our beach? 1,200 feet? I don't know. It's a huge beach. And if a family-friendly area is going to attract people, and that's the kind of people we want to attract. Those are the people, young families, who want places to go with their kids, and we're the perfect destination for that. Beach, shopping, zoo, water feature, a new amazing playground that's coming there. Let's be bold and get some signage that says family-friendly, family area, please no smoking. And not get hung up on the what ifs and the whatabouts and let the perfect get in the way of the very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from the board? Any more comments from the public? What are your thoughts? Table, move forward, deny? I would move that we table the subject and bring it up later.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
To next meeting, the fall. See, this table will bring it up later. What I heard, I didn't get a. Are we tabling this to the next meeting? Are we tabling it
To the next meeting with
to the next meeting?
All right, thank you. Park Department 2026 Annual Report.
Yes, our annual report was in your packet. There are a couple corrections to the golf tables, which I will email those out to you today. It was in the concession numbers. The concession numbers were off, and I'd like to thank Dave Szymanski for contacting me, which prompted me to go through and rerun the P&Ls for 2024, 2025, and there were errors. And then he also suggested that we add merchandise sales, which I think is a good idea, so we can keep track of how our sales are going year to year. So I emailed those two corrections out to the park board tomorrow. They were just fixed today. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
I have a question on page 11. The Peacock and Coop revenue and expenses says we're only making 6% on $106,000. We're only making $6,000. So should we? Not, I'm not a businessman, but that's a pretty small margin there, isn't it?
That's not the profit margin. That's the variance between the year before.
I'm looking
Are we
at
looking at
2025, 106,000 in, and expenses were 100,000.
Oh, okay. Let's see what you're looking at.
So
Yeah, that seems off as well. I'll take a look at that.
all right. And then I had a question on page 17. It says Memorial Hall, we had 59 more rentals than the previous year, but we made less money.
So we're counting uses of the hall, and Will is programming that hall like at least 3 days a week right now with horn paint and game nights. So the usage has increased, but we don't charge Will.
All right. It's a usage rather than a rental.
Yeah, we can specify that too.
And then on page 38, I don't hate to, but I need to bring up again that the phase one still not complete as we cross the railroad tracks at 12 and being near the what's the place?
What's that?
Singing Sands.
Yeah, the Singing Sand, but I don't know, the business there.
Oh, by Brant.
By branch, that it's not. It's the phase one says it's completed, but it's very dangerous when you have to cross the tracks and you're in a lane of Highway 12.
So we still are in talks with Amtrak on the crossing at Carwick for phase 3 of the trail, which I remind them every chance I get that we have to get this completed. NDOT has identified some funding to do that right now. So right now we're hammering out the different design agreements. We're waiting for one exhibit. We already have estimated costs. And again, NDOT has a pool of money for railroad projects. So we are working towards that. We were meeting every 2 weeks, but it's been about 6 weeks since we've had a meeting with Amtrak. So I'm assuming one will be coming up shortly in the next week or two. But I do remind them at every meeting that you caused the city to lose this project. You are responsible and you need to do what's right by our community because it is a safety issue. And kind of piggybacking on that, NDOT is doing a road project in Michigan City this summer, all of Highway 12 within the city limits. They're doing what's called a road diet from pretty much that Amtrak crossing all the way to past Mount Baldy. And that will open up another 12 feet or so of buffer between the roadway and the trail. So Amtrak is trying to coordinate this new rail crossing and the new signaling with the NDOT project. So you've got 3 parties involved. So we are actively working on it.
What do they say when you tell them this? Like they just ignore it?
Well, no, the issue is that the staff that we worked with back on phase 1 is no longer there. So I took our complaints through Congress, who pays a lot of their bills, chase the money. And it ended up on their government official's desk in Chicago. He had like 37 pages of my correspondence that I've kept over the years. So he called me up one day and said, "Hey, this landed on my desk. Congressman, what is this all about?" We had a short conversation. He said, "What can we do to rectify it?" And I said, "Build the crossing. You're in breach of contract. You need to build the crossing." I never heard from him again.
I mean, if they're in breach of contract, don't our lawyers send them like stuff and get it done. I mean, like I've only been on the board a little bit, but it says 2021. It's far past that. Like we have enough city attorneys. Like, don't they say, let's get this done? Like
The delay of them not delivering the designs that we paid for caused us to lose the grant funding of roughly $1.4 million because it's on a timeline.
yeah,
So-
100%. I mean,
Where we're at is
what happens when somebody gets seriously hurt?
Yeah.
We're just going to all stare at each other. I mean, this is a simple fix.
So when phase 3 came up, and now we're negotiating with them again, and we need them to complete our trail. So, and it's a whole different group of people, and they're willing to work with us. So that's the good news, is we are working toward a solution. I can't really tell you what the breakdown was with the first group, but yeah, it's a bad situation. It needs to be rectified, and not at our expense.
Well, I'm glad you're sticking with it. If there's something the board can do, strongly worded letter.
I had the attorneys send them a very strongly worded letter. But anyway, they're working with us now, so hopefully this will get worked out in the near future.
Then I had one last question on page 52. Under the golf financial report, it says other services went up 228%. What is that? The computerized irrigation system, or
Yeah. Irrigation, so that's all broke out in the back. In the variance report. Mike could probably tell you off the top of his head. Pump house repairs, new satellite irrigation, or something else big in there.
and the year-end cash balance, that's in the non-reverting fund. Is that true?
Yes,
Okay, so that sticks with the golf course.
correct.
All right. That's all the questions I have. Anybody else have a question?
We did not have any.
Any comment from the public? I don't know. They've not seen it. It's not out till tomorrow, right? All right. We have a item H, a letter
The board needs to take action on it.
that we need to take action. I'll read the letter.
No, on the.
You gotta do that. I move to approve the Park Department 2026 annual report.
A second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Item H is a letter in support of a project the Michigan City Sanitary District is proposing to the Honorable Frank Marvin. Dear Representative Marvin, the Michigan City Parks and Recreation Department manages multiple park properties which offer access to Trail Creek and Lake Michigan. At Hanson Park, we offer an ADA accessible kayak launch on the banks of Trail Creek, the first ADA kayak launch installed in the state of Indiana. Washington Park, our flagship park, offers a variety of water-related recreation on the shores of Lake Michigan. The amenities in Washington Park draw many visitors each year. The parking revenue generated by visitors was roughly $1.2 million annually. It is vital to funding our annual budget. However, we realize that we do not operate our park system in a vacuum. The immersive recreational use of our beaches and kayak launch depends on having clean water, especially as it relates to E. coli contamination. This is of such importance to us that anyone that visits our webpage on the Michigan City website will be greeted on our main page with a Michigan City Beach water quality statement and current test results. To maximize the use of local water recreation by the public, we partner with the Michigan City Sanitary District to support their efforts aimed at reducing E. coli pollution in Trail Creek and Lake Michigan. As an extension of our long-standing partnership with the MCSD, we are writing to provide our support to their urban core septic elimination and economic development project. First, by removing septic systems from a sensitive area that drains directly into Trail Creek, we can eliminate a potential source of E. coli pollution into the Trail Creek, Lake Michigan. Dating back to the 2012 beach season, there have been 71 beach closures and 470 beach advisories issued due to high levels of E. coli bacteria being present in near our shore Lake Michigan water. By extending sanitary sewers to areas of septic systems, we would be making forward progress towards achieving E. coli pollution reduction goals. Secondly, the location of the proposed project is immediately adjacent to an upslope of 2.8 acres of Park Department property. If the septic systems targeted by this project to be eliminated were to fail, pollution from the septic systems would traverse across park property. We appreciate the efforts and leadership provided by the Michigan City Sanitary District and support funding of this project. Sincerely, myself. So, are there any questions, comments? This area is on the south side of Michigan Boulevard by the old Riley School.
Yeah, it's on the corner of Carroll and Michigan Boulevard. So it encompasses Michigan City Animal Hospital, 5 homes, which I was kind of shocked to find out that there were septics in that area, but it's because of the topography. So lift stations need to be put in. So there's no downside to this project at all. And in fact, it does affect the Parks Department because of all the recreation we have on Trail Creek and Lake Michigan. So getting rid of septics is always a good thing.
Thank you. Any other comments? Any comments from the public? Then what's your pleasure? To adopt the letter, or
I would move that we adopt the letter as written.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
we have reports of officers.
Yes, thank you. First, I'd like to report that Pat and Will and I conducted a walkthrough with JVP Hospitality of the North Point Pavilion concession lease premises. They brought in a couple of their staff members to take a look at it. We are still negotiating the final contract, but it will be on your next agenda. The only thing I'm waiting for right now is the initial lease had specifications for a beach delivery vehicle for the concessionaire to be able to service the beach. Those specifications in 2016 were the same as our off-road vehicle handicap permits. JVP already has a sand vehicle, but the specs aren't the same. So I just want to make sure that we are upgrading the lease so they're not in violation of it, because it's not a golf cart. It's more of a ATV type vehicle. So that's the final piece I'm waiting on, and we should be presenting that to you on March 18th. The city has initiated the condemnation process on 2 properties for phase 3 of Singing Sands. These owners, excuse me, we could not come to a sales agreement with them to acquire their property. I expect there's going to be another 6 properties that will be condemned before we are done. In total, we've had to acquire, I think, 37 properties to complete this process. Our city attorney does not have the capacity right now to do that, so it will be hired out to another firm that specializes in that, but it is funded through our grant funding for the trail project. So that's the good news. We have the money. And then yesterday, Melissa and I met with the DNR's Division of State Parks Chief Planner, Greg Bielfus. So we're starting work on our 2027-2031 5-year strategic plan, or our master plan. This plan is required to be approved by the DNR for us to qualify for land and water conservation funds. Just to remind the board, they did give us a grant award of $250,000 for Water Tower Park back in 2006-ish. We had a $200,000 grant through them to upgrade Hanson Park. So it's a valuable grant. They're a valuable partner. But Will and Melissa will be training on how to write a master plan. So this is part of our succession plan that we talk about all the time. Cross training, making sure when I retire, everything's still going smoothly. So we did have a really good meeting with DNR. They did tell us our plan. I can't remember the exact words they used of our existing plan, but they're like, this is a touchstone plan of everything this park has ever done, system-wide. Time to scale it down. So it's a great document to look back on. It holds a lot of information, but it doesn't all need to live in that plan. So I'm looking forward to changing it up, getting their ideas, making it more actionable, more readable. Because right now I think it's 325 pages. So we're looking forward to that process. We'll be having stakeholder meetings, public input, workshops, surveys, excuse me, etc. Maintenance. I'm going to report this under vandalism, Pat, like Mother Nature vandalism. I can't believe how inundated Washington Park is with sand. It has been a constant battle for months. So our issue is we went into fall leaf cleanup, spread out all over the city. Then the snow hit. Then we switched equipment out to snow removal. Then the sandstorm started blowing in. So we're in a really bad spot right now of not having enough vehicles, equipment resources, or staff to continue the cleanup of Washington Park while we need to get back out into our neighborhoods and do the leaf cleanup that Mother Nature didn't allow us to do in the fall. So they're doing a great job, but if you go down to Washington Park, it's a monumental amount of sand they're trying to move. In my 30 years, I've never seen it like that. And we built big berms. We have sand control in place. It's just one of those years. So we may have to sit down and figure out a plan for some assistance so we can get everything on track before our spring season opens. And now it's mowing playgrounds and events, etc. So we will keep you posted. And thanks for hanging in there, Pat. The zoo, we attended a pre-construction kickoff meeting with Kill Architecture in Larson Danielson last week. We are having some supply chain issues with getting in the steel building, which is going to delay the project a little bit. Right now, expected completion date is mid-June. We were hoping for that to be mid-May, but unfortunately, the steel sheeting for the building won't be delivered until April 27th. Larson Danielson is staying on this, trying to get it in sooner. But that's what we're looking at right now. And then Will and I met with Taylor Scott of the Washington Park Zoological Society. She came in, she had a great idea for fundraising for animal acquisition, which they're looking at $9,000 to $12,000 this year, which aligns with Jamie's ask to the board of the species she needs to round out her collection. So the society is going to partner with local Maple City roasters, and they're going to do some custom coffee roasts and then theme those towards animals. So we're looking for an otter. So these were just examples, otterly smooth mix, things of that nature. I think it's a great fundraising idea because most people drink coffee. And so now you're actually getting some value by donating to the zoo instead of like, I buy Girl Scout cookies. I don't like Girl Scout cookies, but I do it because I feel like I need to support the Girl Scouts. So anyway, I'm really happy with them. They're brainstorming new ideas. Johnny Stimley's planning a trivia night in, I believe it's September, October at the Senior Center. So I think our relationship is really going in a good direction. And I just see good things coming in the future between the society and the park. Will and I and Melissa also agreed to be volunteers at Brew at the Zoo this year to give them a hand I promised them 5 volunteers. I need 2 more if anybody wants to work that event with us from 4 to 8, doing setup and helping them do tear down. That is the end of my report. If you have any questions, if not, I have Will's report as well, if I can get through it.
Any questions for Shannon? Right, go ahead.
All right. It's from William Walker. Baseball signups are still ongoing. Regular signups end on March 15th. Last chance signups end on March 22nd, but the price goes up $10 for the last week. He's still on the hunt for a few more sponsors if anyone's interested. And then Lorcan, the Ludic Leprechaun, is out enjoying our parks for another week and a half. So if you're on our Facebook page, there's clues. It was found fairly quickly at the first park. Clues are posted Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. on our Facebook. March is National Quilting Month, so come check out Quilting Club Wednesday, March 11. They meet at Krieger Memorial Hall from 12:30 to 3 p.m. for session 1 and 5 to 7:30 p.m. for session 2. Chess Club will be held on Monday the 16th. March Porn Paint is March 20th, and tickets can be purchased on the Auto app. Our first open game night is going to be held March 23rd from 5 to 8. It's free, so come out and play games with your family at Memorial Hall. And then our first trail hike is scheduled for April 22nd at Winding Creek Cove Park. And Bike the City will start back up in May.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Planning Commission liaison, Ms. Esparra.
Yes, the Planning Commission held its first meeting on February 24th. However, there was nothing relating to the Park Department.
Thank you. I attended the Port Authority meeting on February 23rd, where Mr. Walker spoke about the new parking plan. He did a great job. Mr. Lavis?
Yeah, I texted with Mr. Stimley today. Shannon kind of already talked about the fundraiser for the purchase of the animals. Looks like they have a date set for their trivia night, which is going to be a 50-50 split with the Lighthouse Museum, set for September 18th at the Senior Center. Information will be on their Facebook page. And they're also working with the Chamber of Commerce and the zoo to do an opening day celebration on March 28th, which is rapidly approaching, before the zoo opens at 9:30. So, and they have a lot of new board members who have a lot of new ideas. So it's been very good. So he's really excited for those activities.
Thank you. Attorney's report?
No, I don't have anything to report. Thank you.
Thank you. Director's report? Mr. Dabney, did you want to add anything?
I'll wait. Good evening.
All right. Department finances.
Yes, we have a city claims docket for March 4th, 2026. Municipal funds in the amount of $56,751.79. Golf petty cash, $0. Total claims, $56,751.79. And I would move that we approve the city claims docket for March 4th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries.
We have payroll. Oh, I'm going to keep going. Payroll number 4, 2026 for February 1st, 2026 to February 14th, 2026, with a pay date of February 20th, 2026. Total payroll $69,856.45. And I would move that we approve payroll number 4.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Reports of gifts and donations. Under gifts and donations, we have Arby's for Youth Baseball League team sponsorship, $400. Arby's outfield banner sponsorship, $400. LaPorte County Visitors Bureau for the NSA BPA MOU donation in the amount of $10,000. And Lennon Barth for the Youth Baseball League team sponsorship in the amount of $400. And I would move that we approve these gifts and donations.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Minor transfers, there are none. Zoo endowment bills, there are none. Board of Works bills, there are none. And credit card charges, there are none.
Thank you very much. Comments from the public?
Yes, Tommy Kolovic, 1316. Good news. The completion date on the Franklin Street Bridge is approaching March 15th. Now, Mr. Cooley reported that when he originally made the request to the Board of Works. Thanks to the county and everybody doing their annual maintenance of the bridge. It'll be nice and working and operational when our season starts. And we make sure everybody wishes Mayor Angie happy birthday tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you how old she is, but I'm happy we finally have a mayor who's a little bit younger than I am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Scott Mellon, Turner County Place. I'm going to have a bunch of things here, and I'm hoping that if you find them, any of them worthy, you'd be able to respond to them during your own comments. The trail condemnations, 37 properties, that's really, sounds like a lot. What was the cost of that if it wasn't covered by grants? I'm just curious. I'm all for the trail. You might want to refresh the public what our parking fees are. We know city residents of the municipal city of Michigan City don't have any fee, but what is it for county residents and then out of county residents? It could refresh the people what those fees are. It's up to you. I'd be happy to.
So the condemnation, that 37 properties are being acquired. Of those,
and they're probably not all houses.
Of those 6 to 8, these are just strips of property.
Yeah.
We're not talking lots or anything.
Yeah.
Of those 6 to 8 would be condemned, and you're asking the cost of condemnation.
If it wasn't granted, I mean, is it costing us anything?
It's estimated by our consultants at $30,000 per parcel to go through the court condemnation process.
And there's a grant covering that?
We have, it's federal highway funds through NDOT 80/20. So they pay 80%, we pay 20%.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's good to know. And then the parking,
sticker fees this year, Civil City will remain free. County is $40 for the annual pass. Outside of the county is $100, and outside of the state of Indiana is $150.
Great. When it comes to the Greens licensing thing, since this has happened with other departments as well, we just paid for somebody's training and they left. I'm wondering if it's possible with the person who's going to get trained this year, if we could have some sort of clawback for his training that vests over maybe 2 or 3 years. This is a pretty common thing for people that gets an employer to pay for their training. It's like, here, we're happy to pay for it. We want you to stay here, but we need you to work for us for 2 years. Otherwise, there's going to be a little clawback of something. It might be worth something for the board to consider. Side note, Lake Michigan is 5 feet lower than its previous high about 5 years ago. So we should have a nice big beach this year. The water is, in fact, 5 feet lower than it has been in the recent past.
As I reported, it's in our parking lot, Scott.
Well, the sand. Well, that's where the sand
The
goes.
beach got.
You just have to push it back. You know, man can dominate nature. We used to have the Hoosier Slide, for Pete's sake. When it comes to the parking, the smoking, again, this happened at the smoking meeting, the workshop. Everybody is really worried about enforcement. Again, the vast majority of people don't smoke. People who do smoke understand the deal. This isn't about being punitive. It's another tool. Nothing is 100%. It's just a tool. And it's mostly a tool for a parent to say, hey, I'm sorry, did you know this area is actually family, no smoking? Let's not worry about the potential escalatory fraction of a percent. Let's worry about the people we want to attract here. Also, when it comes to litter on the beach, cigarette butts are the #1 source of pollution on the beach, not just by individual number, but pretty much by weight. And frankly, it's toxic. Concentrated nicotine is it's a poison, it's an insecticide. So we're trying to foster, a park department is trying to foster healthy lifestyles. Come for the fresh air, the water, the greenery. So again, be bold. I don't think there's any downside to having a family-friendly area. It's not about enforcement. Also, I'm not exactly sure where that area might map out. Those blue walkways, the accessible walkways we have on the sand, Maybe if it was a little to the east so people could get to it from the senior center parking lot, that you split the difference between parking lot, the main part. Just an idea, because then those walkways are great for getting on the sand. Even if you're just a regular person, it's really nice to be able to walk out there.
So the reason we picked the lifeguarded area is if we do have out of town visitors, I like the idea that we are pushing them to the lifeguarded area. Most of our drowning incidents are out of town people that just don't understand the power of Lake Michigan. So that's why we chose that area. It is pretty easy to access right off our main parking lot, but it's pushing them into a safer area to swim.
So those were the quickies, but I think we're headed in the right direction. And again, the cross train that Shannon's doing is really, you're going to be really hard to replace. So you're going to be really tough shoes for Will to step into. But, you know, I've got confidence in Will. And
he's already negotiating my consultant agreement.
Work half the time, make twice as much, Shannon. That's retirement. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public? Any comments from the board?
I agree with you about the getting trained and then leaving, or maybe we should, instead of about leaving, if you have special training, they should increase your pay. Let's keep it competitive. I'm guessing this guy left because it's a more lucrative position or more money. I don't know the facts, but I'm guessing it's that. But when we train people, we don't have people like Mike who's loyal beyond loyal. Okay, and I said this last year, and I know talking about people's salaries and things like that. But when we get people with special trainings, we've got to keep them, because there's $25,000 that we just are going to train somebody, have to pay to train somebody outside, when I know that could be used to do a lot of things. So hopefully we can figure out a way to keep these people and keep them competitive, or have them, if they get certain trainings, increase in pay.
So in response, Mr. Labus, and I believe this was your suggestion, we did build that into our current budget. So if you do carry a pesticides license, there's a pretty decent pay increase, incentive. I think you were the one that suggested that last year. So we do have that now.
I have a good idea once a year.
Thank you.
She'll disagree.
And I just wanted to comment, Ryan, I have a good idea every now and then. He was obviously joking, and I just wanted to, I didn't feel like giving any shout outs in the council meeting last night for anybody who saw it. But anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to the people who don't get recognized, the board members and the commissions. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of moving parts to running a city. People will see one meeting, council meeting, or they'll see, something else, and there's a lot happening. This board is responsible for a lot of different things that go on, and they have a lot of responsibility. So I appreciate when I come and I hear the questions and the discussions that they have, talking about different things, and that happens on other boards as well. And a lot of times, even at the council meeting, we'll give a shout out to the street department, or the police, or whatever it may be, but we never really talk about the people who are volunteering their time to do boards and commissions, and some may get a $50 check every month or something like that. But I mean, they're really putting in the time to help better Michigan City. And I just wanted to give a general shout out to all of these people that are, putting the time in to make our city better. So I wanted to end on a positive note, but I really appreciate them. And I know the other council members do as well. They don't have this chance to come to the park department meeting and say that, but I'm sure they do. And I'm speaking on their behalf as well.
Thank you. Anything else?
I motion to it. Oh, didn't you have something to say, sir? Did you miss the public comment? Come on down.
Good looking out.
Yeah, thank you for letting me speak. My name's Robert Cowden. I've lived in or around Michigan City my whole life, 68 years worth, and 39 years ago I moved out of town, moved over to the town of Pines, which is 5 miles from here. And I just feel it's a bad thing that we can't get parking stickers at the same rate that people in Trail Creek get it for, or LaPorte get it for. It cost me $100 to get a parking sticker, and I'm 5 miles from here.
It's because it's out of county.
I pay a city tax for school systems.
That's true. Pine Township is part of a school system.
I just wonder why we're not included on the same rate as Trail Creek and LaPorte. Like I say, people in LaPorte, 15 miles from here, they can get theirs for $30. You know,
So years ago when I started, there was a separate level called school city. So if you were out of the civil city, but you resided in the school city, paying taxes to our school system, like many of us pay taxes to the school system with no kids that go to school.
exactly. It's me.
So that's something the board could consider. You know, if you want to instruct Will and I, we can look into a different level. Defining that area is what we would need to do.
My mailing address is Michigan City, 1708 Michigan City. Birch Street, Michigan City, Indiana.
I think that's a fair request because, again, we base our civil city on who's paying the taxes to support the park department. But if they're paying taxes to support our school system, that's just as important, I think. And at least make it the county, the same price as the county. Yeah.
That's all I'm asking
I think
for.
that's a good.
Yeah. Same price as Trail
thing
Creek
to
or LaPorte
explore.
people, or
I agree with that. I appreciate Mr. Cowden that you came and brought this to our attention. If I could go ahead and ask Shannon if that is something that could be looked into specifically for Pine Township that does contribute to our school system, and then we could maybe at a future meeting address an amendment to the parking fees.
So I think we just don't target Pine Township. I think we need to do the whole school city and determine
anyone in
the reach of that and anyone that's in their tax district that we would offer the county rate.
Yes, thank you for listening to me. I think my mileage is
that.
currently 5 miles from here in my house.
You might have a lot of happy neighbors here somewhere.
There's only like 700 some households in the town of Pines. It ain't like you're gonna get a big surge down here, you know. And that many people, I don't think that many of them will actually go to the beach. But I love the place. You know, I want to be able to go walk on the pier. I want to be able to go down to the restaurant if I want to without paying an enormous rate. You know.
Sounds more than fair to me, sir. I agree with you.
Okay.
We'll
Thank you.
look into it. Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it. I never even thought of that. I motion to adjourn, Mr. President.
So moved.